Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 203, Enjoying the Holidays Without Over Drinking. Well, hello. I'm back from Morocco, in case you were wondering. What a trip. Oh my gosh. I hope y'all came over and followed on Instagram and Facebook for some of the photos and saw some of the experiences I got to do. Amazing. I'm forever changed. Morocco was one of the coolest places I've ever been to. Probably the coolest. The people, the scenery, the resources there, everything that they're known for, the oils, the carpets, the perfumes, jewelry, fabrics, just so much richness, so much love, just so much like everything. And I was so much myself. I went all in on all the experiences and I loved it. But we're here now, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I feel like y'all needed some support with holiday drinking. So this podcast is going to be helping you say yes to yourselves and no to over drinking. And I just want to plant the seed that it's totally possible that you can have a great holiday experience without over drinking. And if you've been following along, you know that fun and our experiences and our quality of our experiences in our lives is based on our thinking, right? So fun is a mental construct. And thinking that you need alcohol to have fun or to make things better is a mental construct. Those are thoughts that you have about alcohol and your experiences, right? And so I just want to plant a seed that is available, that you can think in a way that is fun and have great times and experiences. And you don't need outside things like alcohol or excessive food or excessive presents or doing all of the things, right, in excess during the holidays to make it better, right? You can make it better by changing your thoughts about it and by honoring what you want. And I think that's the main message of this podcast is sometimes a lot of the times, the reasons we overdrink is because we're resentful and we just feel like I just need something, right? This is the only thing I get to do for myself, or this is my me time, or I'm doing all this stuff for all these other people, and this is my special treat, right? And so we drink from that place of like, we want to feel better or give ourselves a break or turn off our mind or reduce our anxiety and overwhelm, right? And we've trained our brains to seek alcohol to relieve ourselves from that mental stress, okay, and emotional stress. And during the holidays, it's no different. It's just kind of amplified because there's a lot more pressure we put on ourselves to make things perfect, or, we're hosting more people, or we have more social events, or maybe we're traveling, right? So it's just kind of all compacted into a shorter amount of time frame. So we have a lot more things to manage, right? And so, if we have family events or friends events and we go and it's not really what we want to be doing, we have thoughts like, I want to drink or I need to drink to get through this, right? Or they're pissing me off so much and I just can't deal with it, right? And then we drink. And so what I want to tell you is that you want to take inventory of what you actually want to do. So there's an exercise that I'd like you all to do. And it's just to write down like a story, like maybe do a journal download or a thought prompt in your journal or on a piece of paper where you ask yourself, what is it that I want to do this holiday season? Okay. And you just ask yourself what it would look like if you could do whatever you wanted to do. Okay. And to kind of paint that picture. Now, I'm not suggesting that you totally flip it, the table over and change everything up, but I think it's really important for us to acknowledge what we actually want. Okay. And so oftentimes we don't do that. We don't give ourselves the time to ask ourselves what it is that we want. We're just worried about what our kids want and what our in-laws want and what our parents want and what our friends want, right? And so we try to do all these things for these other people, and we put ourselves on the bottom of the list. We're not even on the list at all. So the first part is this is, what do you want? Okay. And if you don't want to overdrink and you are working on that right now, that should be at the top of the list. Okay. If you don't want to go to all of the events, or if you don't want to cook the big meal, and if you don't want to do all the cleanup, I want you to give yourself that opportunity to at least put what you want on paper. Okay, so maybe you pause the podcast right now and go do that, or come back to the podcast and do that. But get out what your true wants and desires are. Okay. And then you can look at that and really see like, oh, wow, I can understand now why I feel resentful in these types of situations around the holidays. Or this is why I'm starting to feel angsty or anxious or stress around the holidays, because it's like I notice that I have all these things on my plans that I don't really want to be doing. Okay. And so that makes sense to me now why I feel the way I do, or why I'm noticing some, negative emotions coming up, or maybe your mind is racing a lot, or you're having resentful thoughts, right? So at least now you can see that you're kind of out of alignment with the things that you actually want to be doing. All right. And this is just awareness. Okay. So you can understand why you feel the way you do in some of these different situations. Okay. The next thing is maybe you make a list or a journaling exercise, or write out all the things that you are doing. Okay. And then we look at that list and we just, okay, so do I want to keep all of these things on my schedule for the holiday season? And, right? And you ask yourself, and you go down the list one by one by one, and you ask yourself, is this what I want? Yes or no? Maybe you just write a little yes or a little no next to each item. Okay. Once you see that, then you can even further have awareness of like understanding yourself and why you feel or why you have these thoughts around these certain types of events. Okay. And then the next part of this is looking at, okay, are there any things that I could start to say no to? Maybe I could not cook every single dish for Thanksgiving. Maybe I could not go to all the different relatives' house on Christmas Day. Maybe I could not buy presents for all my second cousins, right? Or whatever it is. Like maybe we just keep it within the family, and we really limit our gift exchange this year. Whatever your list is, go through it one by one and ask yourself, how could I maybe release myself from this? Or is there an opportunity for me to ask for help, or to communicate to my family and friends what I'm wanting to do this year? It doesn't have to be a total flip of, a total departure of what you're doing. Although I think that's super fun. Like if you're like, fuck this, I'm not doing any of this shit this year. I'm ordering takeout, and we're all going to just enjoy ourselves and watch movies all day, or, go shopping or whatever it is, then by all means go for it. Because this is the thing. You also want to understand why you're doing these things that you don't want to be doing. Okay. So you've got your lists now, right? You have your idea of if it was only up to you, what you would like to do. You have the list of things that you're kind of assigned to do, or you have committed yourself to. And you also can see which ones you really want to do and which ones you don't. Okay. So now on the list, on the part of the list that you've created for the things that you don't want to do, I want you to ask yourself, why am I doing these things? And just listen to what comes up in your brain. Okay. Listen to what the reason is for doing these things. It'll probably fall into a category like, I want to make them happy. I want them to have a good time. It's our tradition. If I don't do it, so-and-so will feel blank. If I don't do it, I'll get a lot of questions. People will be pissed off. Okay. That's typically something like that is the answer to those things. Okay. So that falls into the category of you're not doing the thing. You're not saying no to the thing because you're worried about how other people will feel or what they might think. Okay. And that is definitely being a people pleaser, right? And I've talked about being a people pleaser a lot, and I don't like putting labels on it. And I don't want you to think there's something wrong with you if you're like, yeah, that's me. We all have people pleaser tendencies, including me. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to want to make people happy. Okay. Like I try to make my kids happy all the time, and my husband and my in-laws and my clients and my friends, right? Like I enjoy pleasing people. Okay. But not at my own expense. And I think that's what a lot of people do around the holidays is like they want to make people happy, but it's costing them something, right? It's costing you your emotional energy, your time, your money, right? And it's too much. And so it's taking away more than you get and receive from it, right? So when I think about making my kids happy and like we have presents and stuff on Christmas morning, I get the joy of seeing them, unwrap their presents, right? And I enjoy the process of surprising them. I love to surprise people and plan fun trips and stuff and surprise people. And, I get a lot of joy out of that. Right. But where it could go too far is like last year, I actually went too far with the present buying because I just felt like it wasn't enough, and like I wanted to make this big magical experience for them, and like in the process of that, like my husband and I ended up locking myself in the office for 2.5 hours, like on Christmas Eve, and wrapping presents. I did not enjoy that. That took away from me, and I did not enjoy it, and I was pissed off about it. Okay, and then seeing them unwrap those presents, like it was awesome that I was able to do that for them, but it was definitely not necessary. And it kind of like the magic kind of got lost because it was just too much. And we had a surprise trip planned on it too. So this year, I'm not doing that, even though I kind of want to. I just know that it's not good, right? It's not good for me, my energy putting into that, because they get overwhelmed. There's too much things to actually appreciate, and nobody wins here, right? Like I'm not actually making them any happier. First of all, we can't control how other people feel, even though we want to make people happy. And it's a lovely thing to do, right? We really can't control what they think or feel about the things that we do. Okay, that is totally out of our control. And I don't want you guys to get confused about this. Yes, there's being nice. Yes, there's doing nice things for others around the holidays. And then there's a fine line, and it can get muddy sometimes where that goes too far and you're only doing things to make other people feel good, and you lose yourself in that process. That's where the resentment come in. That's where the anxiety and the stress and the overwhelm and the burnout comes in. And you can know if you've kind of crossed that fine line by how you feel about it, right? If you're feeling resentment or stressed out or overwhelmed or burnt out around the holidays, it's probably a good indicator you're trying to over please people. Okay, so going back to that question, when you have your list and like you're looking at the things that you'd rather not do, but you feel like this obligation to do them, is because you're worried about how other people will feel or what other people might think. And you're scared to not do that because of their reaction or how they will feel. Okay. And what I really want to suggest that you guys do is try to honor your own feelings first and honor what you want, because you will show up in that energy of feeling good, right? And your authenticity will come through, your true happiness will come through, and people will get to enjoy that part of you instead of the stressed out, overwhelmed, burnt out, anxious person and who ends up over drinking. Okay? So I know, like, when I'm sharing this, it sounds like, oh, that's easy for you to say, right? Or like, that sounds awesome, but the act of actually doing that is another thing, right? So that's why I want to recommend that y'all start small. Okay. What are just a few things that you could offload that you really don't like to do? And start, so maybe that's having somebody else wrap the presents. Maybe that's, putting a budget together for your Christmas list, or reducing the amount of people that you buy for, or maybe if you're in charge of all the cooking normally, like you could buy a few dishes, right? Or ask other people to bring some things. Like, it doesn't have to be a complete flip. And if it is, I'm here to support that for you too. Go for it. Go for it. We've only got this one shot to like really listen to ourselves. But I think you'll find that if you try some of the smaller things and start saying yes to yourselves, you will feel happier this holiday season. You will feel less stressed. And in response, you will not need to numb or escape those feelings with excessive alcohol and or food, or both. Okay. So try that. Also, I want to support you during the holiday season. So I actually just created a pop-up temporary Facebook group called How to Enjoy the Holidays Without Over Drinking, where I'm going to be coming in every day and talking about this stuff. You guys are going to share your obstacles and your goals around the holidays and your alcohol consumption. I'm going to be there to support you. So it's totally free. You don't have to sign up on your email or anything like that. I'm going to include the link in the show notes here to that private Facebook group, but you can also just go into Facebook and then click on groups and you can search for the group. It's called How to Enjoy the Holidays Without Over Drinking. Okay? You'll find it. I ask you a couple questions and then you'll be in there. That's it. That's as easy as it can possibly be. A private container for just people inside that private pop-up Facebook group where we're going to be talking about all these things, and I can support you more in real time and be with a community of amazing women who all want to work on this and show up for themselves the most that they possibly can during this holiday season. And I want to teach you how to do that. I don't get stressed out about the holidays anymore. I only sign up for things that I actually want to do. I also have been known to change plans, and that's okay. I want to talk to you about your feelings during the holidays. I want to talk to you about how you can make realistic alcohol plans for the holidays. I want to talk to you about being open to experiencing all the things during the holidays so that you can leave the holiday season feeling good instead of leaving the holiday season feeling like a trash bag. Okay? Let's leave feeling good so we can start the year off good instead of starting off the year with doing some extreme diet or extreme cleanse and feeling like you need a total reset. Okay? We can work on this slowly and in a sort of a dedicated, committed way during the holiday season together. The pop-up group will only be open for about 7 to 10 days. So make sure if you're listening to this, you get in there and you sign up. I will shut it down probably, like a week after Thanksgiving. I'm just going to say we're 2 days before Thanksgiving now. So yeah, I'll probably keep it open for like a week after Thanksgiving. I'm going to give you guys everything. I'm going to be popping in live, doing live Facebooks, no set times or anything. So you can go back and watch them whenever you get a chance. I'll be writing some prompts in there for you to respond to so I can coach you, all of that good stuff, and kind of have that energy of the community all doing it together, and we're going to make it really fun. All right, my friends, I love you. So go back and listen to this podcast again. Make your lists. Write out the ideal scenario that you want to have for the holidays. Like if you could choose the whole thing, what would it look like? Just let yourself explore that. Be creative, okay, without judgment, without thinking that you're being selfish. Write out that. And then make your list of the things that you've signed up to do. And then next to that list, kind of yes or no, each one, to the things that you want to do and things that you don't. And then ask yourself, why am I not saying no to this thing that's on my list? And find out, it's because I don't want people to think certain things or I don't want them to feel a certain way. And then let's look at how we can just make little shifts into letting go some of those things or asking for help. And you will have a much happier, healthier holiday season. All right, my friends, I can't wait to see who joins me in the group. Bye for now. Oh, and hey, I am also accepting members into my 6-month Stop Over Drinking and Start Living coaching program. So I want to highly encourage you to fill out an application and join that right now. I'm going to be changing the way that I offer my coaching services in 2023. And so this might be your last chance to join a container that I've been having for 3+ years in the 6-month high touch, high accountability coaching program. So click the link, read through the information on that website, watch the 3 videos and submit your application. And we can even have a phone call, just you and me on the phone, old school, and talk through it. I can help you decide if you're a good fit or not, and we can go from there. But I really want to encourage you to do that. The program offers amazing results if you show up and get regular coaching and do the work in the program. By the end of the 6 months, you can have an 80% reduction in how much you're drinking, which is huge, and it can be permanent. And so I just want you to consider making that investment for yourself in money and time. You deserve to have a life where you don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. So go check out the videos. You can also email me at hello@angelamascenik.com if you have any questions. I read all of my emails, so I'd love to hear from you if you have any hesitations or questions about joining the program, and I can help work through that with you. All right, my friends, we'll see you soon.